Hello everybody. Today we have a drawing here which is, as you can see, is pretty much finished. It's in AutoCAD and we've got a section, elevations and floor plan. And I'm just going to show you how to use your AutoCAD drawing as a bit of a almost like a web page landing page where you can actually go to different places of the drawing by using hyperlinks. For example, I've got one here, not only to the drawing but also to other web pages. So I've got one here for example, which has a sync. If I go control click here, it should take me to the web page. I'll try it again. Sorry. Control. I keep missing it. That's a problem. Control click. Okay, that didn't work. Oh yes, it did. It's over here. Sorry. Probably got 10 of them. There you go. My fault. So there you go. We've got a number of these double syncs now, which is great. All right. So I only wanted one. So that worked. I'm not sure what happened to my rest of my layers, but I think some are frozen here. So as you can see, I'm using this drop down here from the quick access bar, and they I just want to thaw those for a minute. To set that up is quite easy. You just click here, and you just go put a tick next to the layer here. Another one that I like to have is plot preview, so you can turn that on so I can quickly look at my plot a bit later when I want to preview it. So that's another little tip. Uh, my scale is 1:50. I might set it to 1:100 here, and yeah, just so I can visualize these line types a bit better if I need to. Sometimes you have to do a regen all, so that's another regen all. There it is. So you click that and just fixes the line types up a bit. All right, so yeah, on here I've got something else called, if I click on here, control and click, it takes me to this view. So I'm going to go a bit backwards to show you how I've actually done these things. I've got this other thing here called super hatch, which again, it disappeared. It just turned off. I'm not sure what happened there, and hopefully this is not a bit of a bug, but things are going backwards. All right, so I just did that, didn't I? All right, so this here is a hatch, and this hatch is actually sitting on, if I go to the layers, properties there, I created a layer just called hatch, something or other, hatch bricks, and I actually put it on color 255. It doesn't print anyway, but there's a reason for that, just in case you forget to depending what your plot style is that you're printing, these bricks sort of have a bit of an outline and uh, so that might print out. But I can show you how to fix that anyway. So the 255 normally doesn't print. It's another little trick you can have under your belt. That's assuming you're using the monochrome that came with AutoCAD, unchanged monochrome .ctb to print. All right, so if I have a look at this in the layouts, which I've got some layouts here, I can use my little preview here now, like this, and that looks like that. And you can see those little outlines. So these bricks I've been putting basically, little snippets, and I'll show you how I did that as well. So basically, you go and get your image, whether you photograph it or whether you download it, and you put it in. So let me just close that and we'll have a look at this here. So basically I go back to my model, which is where I want to be to hatch this thing. Now to remove those hyperlinks to start with, so we can just click on this section line here, which incidentally I put that in using view and tool palette, and I just want to annotate objects here, and I picked up the section here, and I just put the link on it. Now I'll just close that. So I'll just click this. I want to select the block, and over here you can probably see, have we not got the link on there? Let's have a look. The link is on there. So okay, so if you can't see the link, you just highlight this and go Control K, and you can say, see right now it goes to the section view. You can have here, you can actually make it go to the section view, you can make it to a web page, or whatever. So what I want to do is remove the link, so it's not really going to anything now. It's not coming up with that. It's only telling me it's annotative. And I did create a view here before called section, but look, I'll create another one. We might call it some different name for now. And also here we've got the hatch. I'll just delete the hatch for now. You can see it's made out of a number of little things like that. So I'll delete that, like tiles. And where do I get those? I'll show you that as well. All right, so first things first, let's put in these. I think I got rid of the hyperlinks now, so I'll just put in this hatch. Now, this hatch is a brick that I sort of looked up, and I looked it up, and it's from here, this brick here. And what I did, I went and made this larger, and basically just use the snip here, and I snip that out. Like that, and I just saved it as file save as, and I've just put it here. That's it. So now, of course, as you can see, this brick is made out of 3 bricks. Includes three bricks and 3 mortars. Each brick is 220 plus 10 for the mortar joined. So that it's important to know this now. So that's 3 times 230 is 690. So remember that number. All right, so let's have a look at that now. All right, so back here. So what I want to do now is use the super hatch. Now, under the Express tools, there's a whole lot of commands, like including the break line, doing arc text, something that we don't really delve into, especially if you just take a mainstream sort of course in CAD. We don't really delve in this sort of stuff. So, but here, you can attach additional data to line work or any entities as well. So extra things like that in here. Building information modeling, which is basically Revit and those sort of programs, pride themselves on having information embedded into them. Well, basically what we're doing here in AutoCAD, and this has been around for decades, is embedding some information into AutoCAD, including in a minute we'll put in some web page information, but we can also put other information about what certain things are. We'll have a look at that a bit later, and we can actually get that out as well. All right, so let's go to Super Hatch. I've saved my file now. You can bring in a block, an external reference, even a wipeout, things like that. So I'm just going to bring my image in. Comes to there. Go, yeah, okay, that's great. I'll make it no path perhaps, and I'll indicate where I want to put it on the screen. Go, okay. One thing I didn't do is probably turn off that line there, so that will probably interfere with my selection a bit later. So I don't know if I can do it in the middle of the command here now, but that is basically my reference lines here. I'll just freeze that one if I can. Yes, turned it off, which is good. As you can see, so I've got a clear area there. So I'm just going to put it down here. So we can do those things on the fly. It tells me that this is the width of it is 199.87. Okay, so what I want to do is while I'm in here, I'll just copy this. Control copy, or just copy. And I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to go. Okay, so it needs to be 690 divided by that number. So I can just click here and go. Just click here and go Control V to paste that there. So I'll go equals. So that's the number I want. I can copy this, right click and copy. So I want it to be 3.45217 times bigger than what it's telling me it should be. And that'll be a real size brick, we hope. Let's have a look at that. And I just go here and I go paste. Okay, so that's the factor I want to apply to it. Enter, so it's bigger now. So there it is there. It says, okay, you like it. It's acceptable. So I go yes. So enter or click yes there. And then, and it says just like a normal hatch, point in here. Now that might take a little while for it to actually happen, but that's if I enter now, it goes through hopefully, and oops, we've got a little problem here. Not sure what it is. Never had that before. So let's have a look at that and investigate that. Okay, I sorted out what the problem was. It won't be a problem for you. It's only because I had attached some external data to that actual super hatch, and then I deleted it, and the Lisp routine or the Lisp something came up with about the Lisp. So it's not a problem. The Lisp is actually um, this here is run through what's called a programming language in the background that they create these commands with, and we're going to touch on that as well, how to do some programming in CAD. So that's coming down the track, so stay tuned with that. So I'm going to give this another go now. Also make sure I have it on the right hatch layer, which I just changed as well. So let's give that another go and see what happens. It did work during the little pause I had then, so I'm not sure what went wrong before, but this it is a little problematic at times. So you just got to persevere and just try again. I did leave it on relative path before, so that's fine. I can still do the same the second time when I tried it during the break. So just put it here, make sure that. Now I'm just going to paste that number that we came up with before. It goes there, okay, enter for yes, and indicate there, and enter that. And oh, look at that. Okay, do it again because it is obviously it did work for me a second ago, but I think it's because I didn't do a thing, and I'm not sure why it basically bombed out again. It's a bit embarrassing, but these things happen. This is CAD for you, so we mustn't give up. Just keep going and see what happens. There you go. He's done it the third time, lucky maybe. But it happens to the best of us, I suppose. And the main thing is not to panic and just keep trying and see if we can resolve the issue. All right, so we did that, which is great. So that's sort of what we got. Now, the other thing I'm going to do here is show you how to, I will attach on here. I'll attach now on here. If I click on that, Control K is a shortcut to, it's basically a Windows shortcut to get in to apply hyperlinks to anything, even in Word, for example. So we use Control K to get this up. And we're going to existing web page, yes. So I'm just going to go to here and go to there and grab that, draw a copy, come over here and paste that in here, draw V and go OK. And now here, this thing here should, you see that little box sometimes it pops up there, like there, Control K. So I'll go Control K, Control click, sorry, Control left click, and that would take me to, escape that, sorry, Control left click, and just have a look over here. It's probably flashing at me. Oh, there it is, coming up. So there's my brick here. So if I just close that, I don't need that now. So I'm just going to go over here now. So we've done that bit. All right, so now we're going to create a view here, which I already have one, I think, but I'll show you how to create a view. V for view is basically how I do it. New view, perhaps here, the view tab, view name, and then you can go window. So call it. It's another way of doing it. I think view for view will bring you a different. If we go V for view, enter, comes up with a slightly different window, but even so, that's fine. We'll just go new, and that brings you straight to there. So it's the same thing. So I think I've got a section one already, so I might just call this section A, for example, and I want to do define a window. So I want to see, okay, I want to pick up this area here as my section, and then just accept, enter, yes, and we'll go okay. All right, so that's my section A there. I've got the other one is a section, it's similar, but section A is that one, and go okay. And there's a number of views in here. There's layouts as well, preset views, all those things. So you can go to them from this particular dialog box. All right, so now I can come down here and have a look at this thing here. All right, so hyperlink, you see there's nothing here in hyperlink. So I can go Control K, and I can go here, view of this drawing. And then I can go to model here and pick up this section A I just created, go OK. And now this thing here has that, if control click on it, yeah, like that. Oops, control click, takes me straight to that view. So it's a bit like a landing page, I suppose. Yeah. So if I go to you can attach, you can go to the layout, for example. I suppose I can, if I have a look over here, layout 2 has got my site on it. Could go here and go click on that. I'm not sure if you can do all of them. I just don't think so, but Control K. Let's have a look, and we can go view of this drawing, and I'm going to go to layout 2. I think that's where it was. Pick out this one here and go OK. Um, and yeah, and that's it there. So now if I go here, it's got that click. I go there. So anywhere I go on that boundary, I can go Control click, and it takes me to the site, or the drawing that's got the site. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind. So that's something to for you to keep under your belt, I suppose. All right, so um, we're gonna go and do that now. There's a few other things now. So similarly, you could go to here and go Control K and go to here and go to section A there and go OK. And that's also another way of doing it. If I control click on here, oops, control click, it should normally work. Yeah, I'm sure if it's done it, you go. Sure would have. It's a little touchy. So if you just move over it a bit, you might be able to see where we've put that. I can't see it myself. Try again, Control K. Just see if it's worked, so it's okay. Somehow it's coming up on that, so Control click there. Yeah, that's not working. Not sure why. Forget about that one. Things never work when you do a little demo, do they? Anyhow, you can also attach information about this line, for example. You could put in who the surveyor was, for example. You could go here to the Express tools, and you can go, attach data. Sorry, didn't have to do it. I have to click it now, and then I go, the call it boundary or something like that. Just give it a name. So it just needs to have that name, and then you can put a string or a number. You can put the length of the line if you like in there. You can put a like an integer thing even. Yeah, integer. But I'm just going to put a string, and I'm just going to say, um, you know, something like Adelaide. Oops, Adelaide surveys or something like that. I don't know if there is a company like this, but anyway, and you could just and that's who surveyed that, for example, or you could put in even the hyperlink or a description about it, or we talked about this, or you can even uh, well, not in here, but with the previous thing where we did the Control K, you could go to an email, you can go to a Word file, whatever. You can go to minutes of discussions, things like that. So it's really making your drawing a little bit smarter, I think, and also a little bit better presented, as you can see from here. Much better. And if I go to plot now, actually, I didn't even have to type in plot because I've got this thing here. I could just go preview, have a look at it. Looks like this. I can right click and go plot, and I think I've got a finished version before, but I'll close it now, and I'll just do another one. Yes, I'll overwrite that one, and see when it comes through. See what comes through, what it looks like when it comes through, and it's coming up on my second screen, so I'll just bring it down like that, and let's have a look. All right, so obviously we get the layer information through here. Anything else? No. Any hyperlinks coming through, for example? No, I don't see any of those coming through because they're not actually on here. The hyperlinks were actually, in ModelSpace, if you remember, and also on the other layout, which didn't actually work. All right, so I'll leave it at that. It's getting a little longer. I was only expecting it to be a few minutes, and it's turning out to be like almost 20 minutes. So thank you for listening, and stay tuned for other little tips and tricks like this. We'll discuss down the tracks, as I said, list routines, perhaps slides. We're going to do things like we're going to look at even Revit and things like that, divide, measure, so many commands that we don't normally learn about. I'm going to try and put them in here. We're even going to touch on 3D in AutoCAD. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for listening.